Welcome back, everybody. It's time for another Underdog Draft Best Ball Mania 5 because time is running out. And in fact, if you'd like to do those slow drafts, the clocks have already been reduced from 8 hours to 4 hours. That means the slow drafts are not quite as slow, and the live drafts are getting ready to wind down. I hate to say it, but look, time is winding down the preseason. Not much more chance to get into these drafts. So we're going to keep doing as we've been doing. Done a lot of best ball mania this offseason, but there's only a few more days left. September 5th, that Thursday, is the kickoff officially to the 2024 season. So yeah, we need to get in as many of these as possible. Do another best ball mania with y'all. If you want to get in here with the endgame community, myself included, well, let's try it. So here we go. We're going to do one more. Now, of course, you also can get in all these others, do the sprint. Actually, a lot of entries available. This might be more beneficial. Yeah, it's not the big tournament like BBM 5, but there's still $1 million worth of prizes total. It's like not even half full. I get this one maybe is not exciting to some of you, but when there's far fewer entries there to compete against, maybe better chance to win. Same thing with the marathon. That's basically just traditional old school best ball. It's not a big tournament. It's just who scores the most from the first week to the 17th week. That's it. Best team wins. You don't have these, elimination weeks at the end. So there's that. The Mastiff, if you are a big dog, big roller, of course, there also is the big dog. And then the big eliminator, this one's interesting. I'm in one right now. It's a slow one. This one's almost full. If you want to try that, the eliminator is what it sounds like. Every week is basically a tournament. You just don't want to be the last one, in the standings and get cut. So a different strategy for that. I find those always really interesting. The eliminator leagues or the guillotine leagues. I like those. But it's time for Best Ball Mania 5. So here we go. Let's get in there. You already know the deal. See what I was saying there. 4 hours per pick for the slow drafts. I'm going to get a few more of those. $25 entry. We're going to do 30 seconds for this one, of course. All right. Yes, we're going to do a countdown. What's up, everybody? So if you want to try to join me, let's get it. So let's do enter on the count of 3. Let's see if we can get this thing in. 1, 2, 3, enter, confirm. All right. And it didn't like that. Let's try that again. Sorry, false start. NFL Best Ball Mania, enter, confirm. All right. Well, look, only 3. So we actually have some time. All right, here we go. So we need 9 more. I'm sure it'll fill up pretty quickly. But if you guys want to get in here, get your Underdog app. Go to underdogfantasy.com, sign in, go to Best Ball Mania. This is, of course, now the perfect time for me to mention that if you don't have an Underdog account already, well, it's not too late, because even if the football season starts, then you can just do the pick'ems. And there's college football now as well. I mean, everything, any sport you can possibly imagine. Go ahead and try it out if you haven't already. Now, of course, if you, for some reason, also don't know about this, if you join Underdog right now, use that promo code. It's called Endgame. And then you get free pick'ems. You also get up to $1,000 bonus cash. So go ahead and try it now. All right, I'm gonna put myself up there. Looks like we're full. Yeah. It was false. I wasn't trying to false start. It didn't agree with me. I had to refresh. Leave that one if you can and do another one. That's okay. We can draft simultaneously anyways. All right. So let's start this one. We're gonna count down here. I got the 4. I haven't got the 4 too much this year. I know. So let's see what's up to everybody. Good evening, Joe, Ryan, Bobby Digital. What's up, Stinger? Royland, the mock draft schedule. Well, we have been just doing on Wednesdays. I know you just kind of started getting in on it. We've been doing I can't say every night, but less consistently. We're just trying to do as many as we can. Let's just put it that way. Like we're just trying to do one almost every night, and so we'll do them. I can't say for sure. We'll do one tomorrow because tomorrow we film a lot. Maybe we will. We'll almost definitely do one on Tuesday, probably Wednesday for sure. Hopefully Thursday, Friday. So, and just keep an eye out. That's all I can say. That's why you put the notifications as soon as we go live. Keep an eye out. Okay, so let me get my pick. This guy's timing out. Yes, good luck. Good luck, Anthony. You got the 9. All right. You can still get a pretty good player. Maybe go Puka there. All right. No surprises in the first 3. You know what I'm going to do? I haven't done a lot of because I'm just going to go Sun God. Just don't have enough of Sun God. I know I'm still fine with Justin Jefferson there, but I have a lot of Justin Jefferson. I just don't really have a lot of Sun God. So there we go. All right. Marcus got a question here. What's the longest you'd wait to draft your QB? Just to be clear, you're talking in Underdog like a best ball format, or are you talking in general for redraft? Now, if you're talking about best ball, I can wait up to round 9 or 10 because then you just pair 2 quarterbacks, floor, ceiling, and I'm still good if I have decent type of quarterbacks. If I have somebody like a Brock Purdy, like I said, kind of a floor, and it does have a weekly ceiling, but somebody you feel pretty safe about, and pair him with like a Jaden Daniels. Now those guys might not be available, but still, look at quarterback. I mean, look how late Kirk Cousins is going. I'm totally fine with a Cousins Stafford, one of those volume passer, pocket passer types who can get you big weeks. I'm okay waiting till after the 100s to get a couple of these quarterbacks. Or if you really want to, I don't like taking 3 quarterbacks if possible in best ball, but if you really wait, you can wait and you get a Cousins or Stafford as your number 1 QB. And you're like, well, that's not ideal. And then you get as your number 2 QB, like an Aaron Rodgers, maybe your Baker Mayfield. And then your 3rd QB, you swing for upside with like a Will Levis, a Justin Fields, you know what I mean? Maybe even a Bryce Young if you want. So there's a lot of ways you can go about it. But I'll tell you what I don't do is in best ball, I don't almost rarely go QB early because it just really doesn't pay off that much. And I'm talking, you can check the advance rates and the win rates for best ball. Almost never does the guy who take the first quarterback wind up winning because of that quarterback. So I can wait and redraft. And you don't need to wait as long, but I still am fine waiting because there's so much good quarterback value in those middle rounds. So, it's not like you can't take a Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen type real early, but I don't know. To me, it's usually not worth it. All right. I'm back up here. Let's see. All right. With those running backs off the board, I will gladly take Waddle here. I also feel like I don't have enough Waddle. Just convinced he's going to smash this year. All right. Tristan saying Brees at 9 is robbery. I've seen Bijan and Brees each fall to 9, pretty often. I'm thrilled with either one of those guys because once you get past those first few receivers, just give me the stud running back. So I agree. Okay. And I'll put up, as soon as this pick is over, I will put up the draft board, by the way. All right. So far I got Sun God and got Waddle. Okay. So I could go Kyron or Henry, Ayuk, Evans. I love me some Derrick Henry. I got to stay true to my word. All right, hold on. All right, there's a draft board. Sorry about that. There it is. Draft board view. Dog's going insane. Okay, let's get this up. Antoine, where are you? Missed you on the baseball one. Thought you would be on there, but that's all right. Okay, let's see. Rate this mock draft 7th pick. Wow. So Debo, I'm trying to figure that. I'm assuming you put these in order. It was Debo a 5th round pick? And then McBride, Amari, McLaurin. I mean, yeah, this, I don't know. Was this a 12-man league? Because if so, unless I'm missing something, Antoine, this is a lot of players fell, and I mean, I don't know how you put together this team in a 12-team league. But yeah, if it's a 10-team league, it's more understandable. I think it's competitive. Okay, it is ESPN 10-man league. That makes more sense. I was like, you're probably not getting Debo in the 5th and McBride in the 6th. But even still, for a 10-team league, I mean, it's super deep, very solid. I'm okay still with Rachaad White as an RB2. Like I said, I'm backing off him a little bit. I mean, he's certainly startable, especially as an RB2, and you have good receivers. You got some upside with Trey Benson. Your running back depth is a little sketchy, though. That's the only thing I would say. But we always say if RB2 is your weakest spot, then you're good. And I think this is still a really good team. All right. Let's do one more. Thank you again. As always, Antoine. Thank you, Jay Luke. Super chat. Wide receiver 1, Puka, Nico, Cup, Waddle, London. I personally don't consider Cup as a fantasy wide receiver 1 this year. Just tell you that. I got my concerns. All right, let me make my pick, by the way. Got Sun Guy, got Waddle, got Henry. Not thrilled with Jacobs here. You know what? I don't have a lot of Terry. I know it's a little before ADP, but I just finished saying I don't like taking quarterback this early, or I can go McBride, who have so much of. Let's go Terry again, because if this were my first and only Best Ball Mania, I might just stick to my guns and just say I'm taking Trey McBride here, but I have a lot of McBride. Trust me. So let's go Terry. Terry's values pushing up a little bit, I think, with the Dotson move. So Jay, Luke, if you ask me who is my favorite pick here as my wide receiver 1, it's Puka. I'm going to go Nico, and then Waddle will be my next 2 picks, probably in that order. London, very close. All those guys are close. All right. Let's get back to this now. So I got Henry, got 3 receivers. Okay, well, tell you what I'm going to do. Lamar is there, but I'm going to wait because I don't need him. I got 2 tight ends. Kincaid, is my guy, or I can go receiver again. I'm going to take the guy, I know I have a ton of Kincaid. I have a lot of belief. I'm definitely Stick with Kincaid here. I don't have to take a second tight end until later, and I don't have to take a third tight end. So I like that. That gives me more shots at running back, where I'd rather not take an early pick at running back. I'd rather take more, flyers later. All right. Hey, Gabriel. Good evening to you too. Give me a second. Let me just scroll down here so y'all can see. Want to be able to see both the questions and the draft board, last 3 rounds. Do you think it is worth taking one of the tight ends? Yes, I do. Now, again, let's talk redraft, because I'm in a best ball draft right now, and I don't think it makes a huge difference here if you're talking about getting one of these types of tight ends or waiting. In best ball, you can take more chances, essentially, which sounds weird because you're thinking, well, in redraft, if a player gets hurt or bombs, you just drop him. You can play the waiver wire. It's really tough to stream tight end effectively because there just really aren't that many tight ends worth picking up and streaming. You kind of have to get lucky to have one that stays. I'm like, yeah, last year you got McBride or you got Laporta and you were golden, but you might not be the one who gets those players. And honestly, we can't just assume that there's going to be a tight end like that this year. Just because it happened last year doesn't mean it's going to happen this year, and there might not be somebody who's as good. So that said, I can take 2 or 3 tight ends here in best ball, and they just need to score a touchdown here and there and give me some value. But I always think if you feel a guy is going to be top 5 at his position, yeah, it's worth taking him if I don't have to draft him super early. So I think Kincaid is kind of right in that sweet spot of not being drafted too high, but delivering what should be a stud at the position. McBride is being drafted earlier, but I really think he'll still pay off as well. Andrews, I'm a little more down on, but he seems to be falling as far as where he gets drafted. So his value really isn't too bad as long as it's like around after McBride. And again, in my opinion, which is like you just saw, I drafted Kincaid before Andrews. If I can get him, ideally really even around later than Kincaid, which doesn't always happen. But if you can get it like, 6th round, Andrews, yeah, you do it. Just like Kittle is falling. If you can get 7th round Kittle, you do it. That's fine. It's totally fine. You don't have to. I also like getting a guy like Ingram, saying wait for Ingram Ferguson. I'm totally fine with an Ingram as my every week starting tight end. So I could go either way, to be honest, as long as the value is right. I don't want to reach, even for a guy like Kincaid, who I think is going to smash this year. I'm not taking him in the first 3 rounds. If I can get him where I feel like he should be going, which, again, for this draft right here, 5th round, perfect. McBride, late 4th round, perfect. Pitts, yes, I will still take a chance on Pitts. That's just me. Ingram in the round 7 or 8, wonderful, right? And if I want to wait, and just get Ferguson or maybe Njoku, I'm okay with that too. So you notice the only thing I'm not doing, I'm not the first person to take a tight end. I'm not going Sam Laporta around 3 too much. In best ball, a little bit, because best ball is different. Kelsey, not unless he really falls. And I'm not going to be the very last one to take a tight end and just get somebody who I can't depend on. All right, it's my turn. Let's see what we got here. You know what? I really don't have... Actually, you know what? I take that back. I don't have much Monty, but I don't care. Hollywood is here. I'm going to take Hollywood. I still feel like he's a good value. Monty falls to me this next pick, which I doubt, then I'll take him. Let me get my queue ready. I still have 0 shares of Alvin Kamara. Like maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but I'm super nervous that Saints offense now and about him. So maybe I'll take Ingram, Kamara just to have Kamara. There goes Ingram, by the way, off the board here, end of round 6. I think that's fine. So I got my tight end. I'm good. I got 4 really good receivers. I got Derrick Henry as my anchor. I might take a Stroud, who does seem to keep falling, which is interesting, and he's being valued way too high. Before, I don't have a Texan. I don't need a Texan, but I'm still probably not going Stroud here. I would go Kyler Murray if I had taken McBride. have a ton of Kyler Murray already, though. So again, I've been doing so many best ball manias. I want to mix it up. Wow, look, okay. If Monty falls here, I have to take him. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and take my first share of Kamara. I don't want zero exposure to a guy who could put up big games. Wow, okay. Monty's ADP is 70. We're at pick 76. Solid RB2. Let's go. Saves me from having to draft Kamara. All right, let's move this thing up again. All right, let's get back to Antoine. If someone is, let's say, ADP 37 and the draft is at pick 60, Drew draft baseball. That's a great question. There always comes a point, like I was just saying, if there's a player like, look, this player is dropping way too much. What you'll notice, which happens to be a great way for me to once again mention the Draft Lane app. If you haven't seen it, we got the Draft Pilot on there. So the Draft Pilot app, it will tell you, you need a running back here, or you should take a receiver, or we recommend a quarterback, whatever, based on how you're drafting. And then sometimes it'll just say, like, these are the players that are ranked highest. Like, take best player available. And what you'll notice is there might come a point when a player falls, like a round or two or whatever it is, you may not need that position at all. And it doesn't know whether you like the player or not. It'll say some values are too good to ignore. I think that's the wording. And it'll say priority pick. And basically, like, look, just draft this guy because it's enough is enough. Like, you may not need a receiver. You may not think this guy belongs where he is. But at this point, you take them because it's such a good value. And if it wasn't, we wouldn't have him ranked where we did. So maybe let's say his ADP is 37. We really think he belongs in the 50s. You get to in the 50s and you get to pick 60 and he's still there, then yeah, of course he's a good value. You got to take him. So that's what we tried to do with the Draft Pilot app. And that's what it does. It'll tell you, just take this player. Just enough. Just don't let him fall anymore. Take him. So I definitely think that there are situations where that's okay. But it depends on the player, right? I don't think there's any player I would say I just point blanket refuse to draft at all. I will not draft. You have to be open-minded, and you also have to, you have to just assume that it's possible you might not be right about every player. No, if you don't want him, you don't have to take him. That's fine. You don't have to. But yeah, most players, once they fall that far, yeah, I would just take them. Okay, my pick again. I got 2 running backs, 4 receivers, and a tight end. Do I take another share of Zeus? Nope. You know what I'm going to do, because I have McLaurin. I'm going to pair Jaden Daniels with him, because I don't have a quarterback yet. I think I can still get Zeus. Well, maybe not. Well, maybe so. We'll see. I'll probably take another running back here. I like the running back value in these rounds much better. Once we get around pick 100. Let's see. All right, there goes Chase Brown. One more pick. Do I get another share of Zeus? If I don't, I'll probably just skip down to Javonte, another player that I'm not totally sold on, to be honest. But, well, there you go. Doesn't matter. Zeus falls 10 spots. I'm taking him. And I don't need convincing here because I am so all in on Zamir White anyways. Let's see. All right. Victor Figueroa. Thank you, Victor. 12-man PPR. Richardson, CMC, Najee, Puka, Adam. I'm assuming you mean Adams, Devontae, Pitts, Waddle, bench of B-Rob, Hollywood, Corn, Brian Thomas, Josh Palmer, Brooks. 12-man PPR. Love it. I mean, CMC, obviously, the rock there. You still got a number 1 receiver in Puka, number 2 receiver in Adams, number 2 receiver in Waddle. I'm in on Pitts this year. Yeah, Zeus is Zamir White. B-Rob is a solid look. You might want to swap B-Rob and Najee giving any given week. You got two running back, two types. I love Corn there. Yeah, I love this team. And Brooks still on the bench. Yeah, man, Victor, this is really good. Definitely. Now, obviously, Richardson got some risk, but still, you're totally fine. I'm big on Richardson as well, so I love this team. Nice. Zamiria, sorry. Anthony got the draft lane working. Excellent. That's right. Hey, you use it even in our drafts against us in drafts. I got no problem with that. Okay, let's do a couple more comments here. Ferris, we'll go back. Ferris, Jobber. Kenneth or Jacobs this year? For me, it's Kenneth. Walker. It's interesting because Chris has been pretty big on Jacobs and he likes him in Green Bay much more than I do. But he's coming around on Kenny Walker finally because now we're hearing, hey, he's going to actually catch passes. We've heard nothing about Charbonnet. We've heard all sorts of things about this offense. It's going to be faster pace, a lot more movement. It's actually going to be somewhat creative, which is good for everybody. Kenneth Walker, you think early down back, home run hitter, and that's it. But no, he's actually going to seems like he's going to be mostly a 3-down back. That's super exciting. I think we see his best year yet. So I'm totally on Kenneth Walker. I can't tell you 100% certainty as far as Chris goes, whether he has him higher than Jacobs now. I think they're both pretty close. I know for me, it's Walker, though. All right. Bear Smoke Gaming. What's up? That sounds good. All right. Draft is starting soon. So if I'm seeing this right, 16-team league, late round names. Okay, if you're in a 16-team league, then you're going to need to go pretty deep here. All right, so let's throw out some actual worthy of being drafted kind of sleepers and dart throws here. I'm not going to skip QB because there's no unknowns there. At tight end, I'll kind of work backwards here. I'm in on Jonnu Smith. Juwan Johnson for New Orleans could catch a lot of touchdowns. He's got some upside. Okay, hold on. Let me make my pick here, and then I'll get back to you. So, okay, I don't need quarterback just yet. I like Spears. I should probably go receiver, though. You know, it's been a minute since I took Rashid Shaheed. Let's do that. I took a lot of him early, and his ADP creeped up, so I kind of backed off, but I feel like it's settling in like where it should be now. So let's do that. All right, and then I'm hoping I get Tua here on the way back, not just because I obviously love Tua, but I got Waddle, and if I get this is exactly what I talk about, and it's almost insulting to say Tua is more like a floor kind of quarterback, but you know, he has his big games, but he doesn't have the rushing upside, obviously. I mean, he'll have some down games too, but he's a guy who's more solid, consistent in terms of yardage. Will give up some touchdowns to the running game. So Tua and then JD, that combination, I love that combination. I have a lot of that quarterback pair in a lot of my best ball drafts. Tua, Jaden Daniels, both right around. Well, Daniels now is inside the top 100 picks. Tua is pick 112. There you go. All right. Just as I was saying that. All right. So we go to plan B, and maybe a little line heavy now, but I got Amon-Ra St. Brown. So let's just go with definitely more of a floor play is Jared Goff. And then I'm done at quarterback, and I don't have to start looking at the Sam Darnolds of the worlds. So that's fine. There we go. Jared Goff. Not thrilled that I missed on Tua there, but oh well. All right. So late round dart throws for 16-team leagues at tight end. I'll just throw out those names. Juwan Johnson, Jonnu Smith. I mean, if you really want to go deeper than that, you could look at the Colby Parkinson types in the Rams. Maybe Kylan Granson of the Colt or Will Mallory. I just wish I knew which one is really going to get more receptions, but with Jelani Woods, a Colts tight end is not usually a bad option. All right, let's go receiver. I mean, we're getting down there. Andre Yusevich is the number 3 receiver there for Cincinnati. Doesn't sound like Burton's really working in the mix real soon. Greg Dortch, very solid name. Let's see. I mean, I don't know where he's going these days, but Luke McCaffrey, maybe the number 2 receiver there in Washington. So definitely worth a shot. Tyler Boyd kind of being slept on in Tennessee. He's going to get some touches. De'Ami Brown in Washington also. Tim Patrick might wind up being the number 2 receiver in Denver for whatever that's worth. So there's those type of players. I mean, really deep, if you want to take a shot, maybe Malik Washington in Miami, who's really athletic, really good offense, but just going to take a while before he gets touches. But Malik Washington might be worth a stash. Maybe a Bo Melton. Parker Washington in Jacksonville, I kind of like him. So those are my receivers for late. And then let's finish with running back. So we're talking 16-teamer. Again, this is to help out not just Bear Smoke, but also anybody who's in a really deep league or just looking for some interesting late flyers. Tank Bigsby doesn't always get drafted. In this format, he will, but in a redraft league, he might not. Gotta like Tank Bigsby, Justice Hill, kind of unexciting backups. I got to talk up my boy Cam Akers. That's right. It's Akers time again. I'm back all in. Probably too much. Audric Estime is an interesting name. I mean, they drafted him for a reason. I really don't know if Sean Payton is convinced that he likes Javonte Williams as his starting back. I just don't know. And then, of course, there's the Chiefs running back everyone's talking about now is Carson Steele. Why not? Right? Why not? CEH, who knows what's up with him? Don't know if he's going to be playing anytime soon. I liked an Eric Prince, but it seems like Carson Steele is kind of taken over as number 2 back. So those are my favorites. Okay. Let's now address backup tight end. I already got Kincaid. So let's just go Freiermuth and be done with tight end so I don't have to go too deep there. All right. Anthony, what's up? Anthony Cervantes. Welcome back. Rate this 12-man team. All right. And hold on. My bad. Let me scroll up again. All right. So we got Hurts, Derrick Henry, Achane, Metcalf, Sun God, Bowers, Neighbors, bench for Najee Reed, Sudmeyers, Douglas. Nice. I mean, obviously, tight end is your only really questionable thing with Bowers. How long will it take for him to work into the offense, and will the offense be any good? But man, you got my number 1 quarterback with Hurts, my league winner at Achane, another possible league winner. Henry, and then another possible in Achane. You got the Sun God. By the way, hold on. Let me get my other pick in. I'm good at quarterback. I'm good at tight end. Got 5 receivers. Got 3 running backs. I'm not taking J.K. Dobbins here. Gonna have to reach a little bit. Go for a guy with some upside. I don't have much. It's Ray Davis in Buffalo. There we go. I'm in on Metcalf in Seattle. Let's talk about that with Neighbors as your 3rd receiver. That's nice. That's where I want him. Reed is on the bench. I mean, there you go. I personally, week 1, I want to see what happens in the Giants offense. I would probably put Reed in for Neighbors week 1, but I like your bench. You've definitely got several guys you can just plug and play. Yeah. Neighbors is PPR. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I like it. No complaints for me. I might start Reed over Neighbors week 1. And just keep an eye on your tight end situation. But nice job. Very nice job. Thank you, Jordan Olson. All right, rate this team. It's a 14-teamer, full PPR. Got Amon-Ra. Love to see our community definitely in on the Sun God. Etienne, DK, Richardson, Flowers, Ferguson, Spears, Cortland Sutton, Jerome Ford, Stafford Cooks, Taysom Hill, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Okay, well, Jordan, I just talked about this with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't know if y'all heard, but apparently it's, I don't want to say it wrong, I think he has PTSD. There's some trauma he's dealing with, something that's keeping him off the field, not physically, but he's dealing with some things. I don't know what his situation is specifically, and I haven't followed up recently, but I know I saw this a couple of days ago. So in other words, I wouldn't count on CEH doing anything at all. And that's why Carson Steele has become, named to watch. So, I mean, you can really safely drop Clyde Edwards-Helaire and pick up Steele, take a chance on him, or some other running back, right? It doesn't matter. But look, let's look at this team as a whole. This is a 14-team league. You have Amon-Ra, DK, Flowers. That's really nice, even for a 12-teamer. Etienne, Spears. Okay, so your RB2, this is where you're going to have to pick and choose here, but that's the way to do it. I don't love Etienne overall as an RB1 this year, but again, you 14-team league, I think he can get you by. So I would say week one, maybe put Ford in there instead of Spears because he's going to be the guy. Ferguson, I like that pick. Yeah, a lot of good upside here. Cortland Sutton, Cooks. Dude. Yeah, that's all I would do. Just drop CEH and go for a different running back with some upside. Okay, I'm back on the clock. Let me make sure I don't time out here. My queue only consists of Cam Akers and Carson Steele. I don't want to take those guys yet. I do like Wandale. Oh, I have too much Wandale. I'm going to take D-Rob, actually. Yeah, there we go. That would be Demarcus Robinson. Demarcus Robinson of the Rams, number 3 receiver there. Can't forget about him. I'm not really stacking for week 17 in this draft. If I were, the bringbacks, so I got obviously Washington and Detroit. Those are my heavy stacks because I have 3 Detroit players. The problem with that is Detroit in week 17 plays the Niners. And I don't have any Niners, and I don't feel like I have to try to get some deep late round Niners, but I do have Jordan Mason queued up here because he's a high upside backup running back. So I actually might just take him now. Reach slightly, which is okay. I mean, he's just a high upside backup anyways, right? Regardless of bringbacks. And then I have been taking some late shots here and there on like Juwan Jennings. But that's like a last round pick, right? So maybe he'll catch you a couple touchdowns here and there. Okay. Nobody wants Adam Thielen? Well, neither do I. Let's just go Jordan Mason. All right. And Jordan Olsen, hopefully that helps. Yeah. Nice team, I would say. Yeah. I mean, a 14-team league, that's about an 8, I would say, if I had to put a number on it. What's up, Rise above anything. Absolutely. Always glad you're here. And there you go at the end of the draft board now. All right. A 10-team league, pick 2, Brees or Bijan, flip a coin. I mean, I hate to say it, but honestly, either guy, they're both up there. It's who do you prefer? Who do you like? I barely give the edge to Bijan. Chris barely has Brees. So it's really just who do you like? Who do you like better? I'm a little more up on that Falcons offense as a whole, just because I got a little more trust in Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers. I got a little more trust that they'll move the ball with the pieces they have offensively. And look, the Jets very well may run the ball more because they're a better defense, right? More ball control offense. But I think Bijan just has more upside as a receiver this year. And he's got that explosiveness. I think more touchdown upside. It's so close, though. All right. Let's see if I miss anything. Bobby Digital with the question: Harrison or Henry in round 2 full PPR? I mean, Both good picks. I'm still giving the slight edge to Harrison in full PPR. I mean, I love Derrick Henry, potential league winner, but I'm gonna give Harrison the receiver, just like a couple of those young receivers, Drake London, those types. Even Waddle, Nico, barely the edge over Henry. I don't blame you if you want Henry, but I still got Harrison ranked a little bit higher. William Mills, 10 teams, super flex. Richardson, JD, Bryce Young, very nice, very young. Okay, this is a 10-teamer. But that's still good. Brees, Kenneth Walker, Zamir White, Chase Brown. Love that running back room. Sunga, Waddle, Rice, Smith and Jigba, Ferguson, Muth. Yeah, very solid. Very, very solid. Can't think of anything I don't like about this. You got 3, I think, starting caliber running backs. Your receiver depth is a little shallow because I do like JSN, but you must not have a lot of bench spots in this league. But yeah, I like all your players. There's nobody here I don't like. All right, I'm on the clock again. Let me get this pick in. All right, so my build right now is 2-5-6-2. I'm not going to take more than 2 quarterbacks because I'm okay with the Daniels Goff ceiling floor thing. I got Kincaid early. I took Muth as a backup relatively early, so I'm good. Let me take a swing on some upside. I mentioned Andre Yosevich. Let's take Andre Yosevich. Don't have very much of him. I have a lot of Jermaine Burton. I'm hoping at some point that pays off, and it very well might. The Chase gets banged up or something. They finally decide to throw Burton in there late in the season. Not looking as appealing as it did early, but what do you do? And so talk about that other bring back. So I was saying I don't necessarily think I'm going to be able to stack for that Detroit week 17. I got Jordan Mason. Fine. I have a Niner for week 17, even if that matters. Washington gets Atlanta in week 17. I don't know if there are any potential bringbacks of interest here. I don't think so. Actually, looking now, I don't have any Falcons. And again, I don't feel compelled to do this. I didn't get Mooney. I didn't go for Cousins. Am I really going to draft Ray McLeod in my last pick? I don't think so. So I'm just going to ignore that. I am going to take a swing here, though, in the last round, if he falls to me, on Carson Steele, just so I have a share, because I don't. You never know. I'm not going to reach for him, though. Wow, okay. Okay, somebody took Cam Akers in round 17. There goes that. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe I should just take Steele now. I mean, what the hell? Why not? I don't want to take Audric Estime again. I don't even really like Audric Estime as a prospect, but I've been taking him just in case. But now I don't think so. There you go. This is the kind of pick you take with your last round, right? All upside. Just go for it. What's up, Harry? Harry coming over for the baseball stream. Okay, 12-team half PPR, 2 running back, 3 receiver, and a flex. Got Kyler, London, Smith, Higgins, Bijan, White, Ingram, Worthy, Coleman. Nice. Okay. Kyler is good. London, Smith, Higgins. Okay. Yeah, for 12-team. I can't complain about this team. I'm not big on Coleman specifically, but look, he's on your bench. That's fine. You got upside. I admit I could be wrong about Keon Coleman, so take a chance on him. I do like Michael Wilson. Algiers, you're handcuffed to Bijan. I mean, that's fine because then you just don't have to worry about it. And then you got Ford and Brooks. So I think this is a good team. Yeah, I like all these picks. You do have London and Bijan. You're invested in the Falcons too. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I don't see any pick there I don't like either. All right, let's see if there are any other quick questions I might have missed. I want to try to get to. Eli McFly, late round pick for a wide receiver, Judy or Williams? Is there a choice C? um, Not my favorites either one. If I had to pick one of these guys, it would be Judy because he's not coming off a major season-ending surgery and he's on a team that's going to pass a lot more. So if I had to pick, and I really had to pick one, it would be Judy. I'd probably prefer someone else though. That's just me. All right. Last round here. Let's see what's going on. I have 2, 6, 7, 2. I've done a good job of, without paying too much attention, of not overlapping bye weeks. That's pretty good. So I think I'll just go one more running back to balance this out. 7 running backs, 7 receivers. Because I'm mostly receiver early, but I do have 2 rock solid running backs. Let's take a shot. Okay. This is where at this point, some of my late round picks I've been making over and over again on best ball for Underdog. Will Shipley has nice upside here. Already Carson Steele I took, and Cam Akers is gone. Sione Vaki, someone who's kind of on the radar now, but I already have 3 Detroit players. I don't want to do that. Trey Sermon, you know, the backup there to JT. Frank Gore Jr., but I already have Ray Davis. So let's go another Shipley share because I don't even have an Eagle. All right. So now this is wrapping up. I will show you my team. Willie Mills, I forgot about Rashid Shaheed and Kamani Vidal. Nice. I love those 2 picks for sure. Anthony still drafting. Well, that's weird. Every draft is different, right? Okay. Here we go. So this is another Best Ball Mania in the books. Let me show you my team. Switch gears here. I can show you. All right. Quarterback, just 2. That's almost always how I roll. I got Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff. I didn't have to pick one until 93. And again, I like the weekly ceiling of a guy like Daniels who can run and have those big plays. And the floor of Goff, someone who will be pretty consistent, rarely have a bad game. May not have as many big games, but he'll offset Daniels. I like that kind of pair. Running back, I went Derrick Henry, Monty, Zamir White, Ray Davis, Mason, Steele, and Shipley. I feel like I can do this with those last 4, all very iffy, right? Definite backups, definite lotto ticket with Steele and Shipley. But I can do that if I know I'm counting on Derrick Henry to carry the load all season. And then Monty is, again, such a safer running back there. And I feel like Zeus, at the very least, even if he doesn't explode, he's going to get the touches. He's going to get the volume. I feel like my first 3 running backs were, I guess, safe enough that I could take more shots later on these guys. Right? Yeah, this is always what it's like a balancing act, right? You want to mix the floor and the ceiling. And then let's go to receiver. I got Sun God. You can never be unhappy with that. Jalen Waddle, Terry McLaurin, Hollywood Brown. I'm already happy, but I also took Shaheed as my 5th receiver. Mark Robinson, I have a ton of. I can't stop drafting him. I'm getting him in, round pick 160, 170. And then Yosevich, why not? And then, I love Kincaid with Muth. I don't even have to think about tight end there. Those guys are going to give me a lot of weekly upside. So there we go. Time for a mock draft. Well, I'll tell you what, we might do a mock. We'll see if we have time for one later on. Might pull Chris online and we'll see if we can do that. If not, we'll definitely see you for an actual mock on Sleeper really soon. Make sure notifications are on though, so you know exactly when it happens. Royland, we want to get you in there on one so you get a chance to draft Carson Steele. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.